This was a metric 10 right here, and so we had to uninstall that. I've got to go kick off the power, turning that to volts. Got a V with a squiggly line. You don't have that little dash like you would on the DC side. So power's off, positive here, ground, neutral. So we're gonna touch sure power's off and that no power is bleeding through on this. Touch that there. All right, good. No power there. So we're good. But I'm just going to check everything just to make sure. There's absolutely nothing trickling through. Sometimes, even if you turn the breaker off, you might have power bleed in, and you don't want to get shocked. All right, so we're good there. So here's the motor, and this blue and the black are going to go together. That's going to be our power. One's going to be for the fan, one's going to be for the light. This white will go to the neutral, and this green will go to the ground. So with this type of ceiling fan, it's easier just to bring this in, kind of turn it to the side and lock it in, and it'll hang from that mount. I'm going to start with the ground first, and I'm going to connect those two, and then we'll take one of those caps and twist that on. There we go. So now I'm going to remove that over here. I'm going to put the neutral on next. And we'll take our electrical tape once we get all these on and secure these caps just to make sure they don't come unloose and that they've kind of covered up. We're going to take that blue, forget which one goes to the motor and the other one goes to the light. We're going to take both of these and twist those onto the power. If you're worried about power trickling through, you can go out to your main breaker and turn off all the power to the house. But I can't do that right now because my wife is working from home and she needs the power. So now we'll take tape, electrical tape, tape those up. And then we're going to bring this up and mount it together. And so I want those to stay just like that, so they're not touching the motor when it turns. All right, so we've got these brass bolts, and that's what we're going to use to lock this into place. Take that, I'll get one in there. And it takes 4. And as you can see, we're not done with the ceiling yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get these in because I can slide down the cover on this and paint around it later on, but I need some light to work with in the house. So that's why I want to put this back up now, because I've got most of the ceiling up. The rest of it's just going to be filling in gaps and painting after we do the walls. Put these in. There we go. Gotta be careful because these are brass, or at least nickel and brass or something like that. They're gotta be careful you don't strip them out. All right, that looks good. All right, next step is to put the cover on. Cover on, you've got 2 bolts or 2 screws on each side, Phillips head, but you can thread these in by hand. They've got a rough edge on them to where you can at least get them started. Put that one in first. Just hold it in position. Good. And I'm going to go around, watch where that one goes so I don't lose it. These are pretty small, hard to see sometimes when they hit the ground. Hold with your hand hand and thread them in. So I'm just going to thread it in, put it in position, run it up till it gets a little bit snug, not too snug, because I may need to move that blade to get the next screw in. Yeah, I will. There we go. Let's put this next one in there, and then we'll snug these down in just a second. All right, there's that. So I'm going to do the next blades. So there's 5 blades for this one. So here comes the fun part. Because these little screws are so hard to align, we're going to connect, I can't tell if that's gray or black. All right, so this gray one here is going to go to our power. That's our light. So blue is light. And they have little raised beveled edges that fit together, so that one's going to fit there. You got to be careful not to let these hang from that. They will, but it can pull them loose. All right, there we go, and I know that from experience. So we're going to stuff these back in. Now, there's 3 screws that this thing is going to screw in here. So this one screws into the bottom. You've got to get all your wiring to fit back up underneath there. But the thing that you've got to align the most is this little divot, this little square edge here that's been cut out of the base of this thing has to align with the switch here. There's a switch that goes up and down. Now I have those little screws here. I'm going to see if I can't just press one in just to kind of hold that in place. Sometimes you can do that. Thought I left my screwdriver down there. If I can get one of them run in, then I'm good. All right, good. Got that one in. So there's another one around here. I do not want to drop these little dudes because they are hard to find. And I'm going to do the same thing up here where I'm going to press that in. I'm not necessarily, because it's too small to really screw in. Sometimes you can press them in just to get them to hold that position. You got to make sure they're not cross-threaded. Try to do this with my left hand here. I am not a lefty. All right, good. Got it run in. I don't feel any resistance like it's cross-threaded. And that'll let me get that in there. And we'll do one on the other side. Do the same thing here where I'm going to try to press it in. And it's way easier to put the blades on before you do this. Otherwise, this little lip kind of gets in your way. So that's why I'm doing it last. And again, you don't want to cross thread it. All right, that looks pretty good. Make sure that hangs down. All right, good. Light was already on, or the light switch was already on, so we're good there. Yeah, we're good there. Good, that's it. Now we got light back in this area.